It's another one.
What up, dudes?
What's up?
I'm Victor.
I'm Evelyn.
And I'm Mark.
Welcome to the show. We are To Live and Talk in LA.
Dudes, it's Wednesday, 7:30 live on Twitch and YouTube, where you can be the fourth person in the show because we are To Live and Talk in LA. And quite honestly, you actually will be the fifth person in the show because today we have a guest. What's up, y'all?
What up?
What up?
Oh, man. Today is a special day. Hello to our special guest. Comedian Jordan Schatz is in the house, and we're going to be hanging out, talking about comedy, hypnotherapy, and all things fun under the sun here in To Live and Talk in LA, which you can find on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or however you get your podcast. Nailed it.
Boom, boom, boom.
So, Jordan, welcome to the show, my man. How are you?
Hello, friends. Very happy to be here. This is a true treat.
It really is. So for context, Jordan, comedian, I met him at one of the showcases I do here around LA, Pasadena to be specific. And you know what I liked about you, aside from you being funny, is that you asked me if you could be a guest in the show. And no one has ever approached me to say, I would like to do your show. Normally it's me begging people and getting a restraining order. But not you, dude. You were brave. And you said
knocking down the door. I'm tapping into my hidden extrovert. It's taking some effort. So stepping outside of my normal boundaries there. Plus, it's fun to chat. It's fun to talk about LA. I love this place, and it's fun to chop it up and have something to say.
Yeah. I didn't know that he approached you, Mark. I feel like you didn't tell us that detail. That is that changes the whole context for me. I'm pumped
I feel like
now.
that was mentioned.
Was it? Oh, I didn't know.
I heard the name of the show. He was talking about it. I'm like, that grabs me, that pulls me in, that resonates with me.
Yeah.
I want to
cool.
live and talk in LA.
Very good.
I was saying just a few moments ago, I went and I checked out your Instagram to do my cyber stalking, and I read like the first 3 lines, and it was like, comedian, creator, and the better sleep guy. And I was like, I am so bought in already. Then I caught up with the fact that you're into hypnotherapy, and I was like, this is crazy. I need this guy like yesterday. So I'm stoked to have you, dude. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm happy to be here, and it's good to just have a bullet points on the top of the resume that are just fun to talk about, like interesting topics of conversation, even independent of the level of expertise and authority.
Yeah, jack of all trades. You think?
Yeah, a little bit. I have my
areas
of expertise, though. I tend to go deep on things that I find particularly interesting.
Yeah.
And then it ends up with sort of an eclectic but very specialized kind of resume. So, like you mentioned, I do some comedy, I do some hypnotherapy, I teach some yoga, I do a lot of stuff. So,
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm really interested in everything you have here, but I want to start with the comedy because that's how we first met.
Yeah, let's get into it.
There's 2 questions, which is how long have you been in comedy, and how did you even end up doing it? Because everyone has some weird story of how they got into it.
Yeah, it's an interesting path. So a while ago, I had a background in sketch comedy. So the thing that brought me out to LA originally was some friends of mine from college had formed a sketch group in Chicago and made their way out here in bits and pieces. I was living in New York at the time and had sort of done my time there and was ready to move on, and was pulled out here to be back with my friends and to create comedy together. And so we had a group, the early to mid aughts, and here in LA, we did a lot of live shows. We made a lot of videos, and sort of early in the YouTube era, dry hump comedy. If you ever get a chance to check it out.
Go check it out, guys.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So that was, for me, it's always been an outlet. I've always had a need to get stuff out of my head and, demonstrate how clever I am. And this was a really good way to connect with my friends. And, at the time had ambitions in the entertainment industry. And for a while there, as you mentioned, I worked for America's Funniest Home Videos. So that was sort of the evolution for a while. And then, sort of stepped away from all of that for a period of time, but found I still needed to express myself. I still needed to get, have an outlet for the things going on in my head. And that led me back into comedy, and specifically stand-up, because it's a medium that you can rely only upon yourself.
I think Mark said that before too, that you can do it like solo and that's like a fun thing to accomplish. I like
Yeah,
comedy.
I love working with my friends. I love being part of a collective and building something together, but that's not always available just in terms of life and schedule and
Mm,
structure.
hmm
But the need to express is still there. And so stand up is a very compact, very accountable form of art that combines writing with performance, which are the things that sort of the Venn diagram that I like to stand in the middle of. And so it's as Mark can attest, it's scary, it's weird, but it's also like there's nothing else like it. There's no way else you can express yourself in that way.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because like sketch comedy, we didn't do sketch, but me and Victor took Groundlings 101 improv. So it's like
Yeah.
how to work with other people, and with in stand up, you're completely on an island by yourself. And if you're drowning and you're floundering in front of people, or you have to you just figure it out. But in sketch comedy and improv, like you have someone to fall back on. So it's like it's a really interesting
Mm.
dynamic because I started with stand up and then I did improv. I'm like, I'm not good at improv. This is but I needed to learn like the basics of being able to like think faster on the fly. That was like the main thing I wanted to take away from improv, which I kind of got. But like I didn't get past Groundlings 101. I have my certificate though.
I think that's a good foundation for almost everyone in life is to have like the basic grounding principles of improvisation,
Mhm.
and being able to connect and be additive to a situation. So independent of comedy, but just sort of in life, it's helpful to have sort of that baseline of knowledge. But in terms of like art and performance and expression, they're just two adjacent but wildly different fields of expression.
Hmm hmm
It's that, and also I should have known you're from sketch comedy because you were pleasant to be around. Like,
That's so funny.
yeah,
Damn, throwing
I've been
shade.
I mean,
socialized unlike other comedians.
I've talked about this, a little, and I feel like the times are shifting here, which
Hmm.
is like before when I was doing comedy pre-COVID, like 2015, 2016, and like pre-COVID, everyone was fucking miserable. Everyone is
Hmm.
miserable, and like I think we've found this pendulum swing going the other way, and maybe I'll talk to you about this too, which is like everyone is so nice and supportive, and like everyone's like really happy to be there, but like there's levels to it, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, but now it checks off like you did sketch comedy. I'm like, yeah, this guy's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Makes sense. We like him.
Joy is back on the menu, dude. Get
Yeah,
over it.
I like that. Yeah.
You can
it's
have fun again.
Yeah.
so.
Give me the value meal.
Did you do stand up? Like, did you start doing it recently? Is that what I?
Yeah, it's been within the past couple years. Yeah, I had been, sort of thinking about it for a while and made it a point to take a class with someone I respect, to just sort of get my head around how to write for the medium and to have an opportunity to get myself, on stage. And then from there, I've just, been continuing to write and explore and find time for it in my life.
Yeah, I can tell you right, and I think Victor and Evelyn know I'm going with this, which is like there's something new about comedy, and maybe it's the open mic scene I've been seeing from time to time, but no one is writing, at least in open mics. Everyone is just trauma dumping and saying things that are obvious, and no one's writing, and no like there's like no punchline to a joke.
Hmm.
And I'm sitting there listening. I'm like, I'm trying to give it my all. I'm like, I'm giving you my attention because pre-COVID open mics, no one listened to the shit you said. No one was like, "Hey, that was good, man." Like if you got a giggle, like, "Huh," you knew that was funny. Like you knew you said something that was right. Now everyone's listening, and everyone's trauma dumping on an open mic, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"This isn't what you should be doing." Like, I know I'm gonna just say
It's
it. You
not
shouldn't be
funny.
doing it. It's not funny,
Yeah,
dude.
it's for me. It's not a match for what I'm looking for as a performer or as an audience member. And I understand in an open mic, the audience is maybe a little less of a concern. Um, when I'm there, I try to be very engaged, right? That's just how I like to be when I'm there. I like to be present. Um, as a performer, I get in an open mic situation, maybe people are trying to work stuff out. Maybe they're just trying to, unburden themselves. Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, it is a trauma dumping situation where, we don't have the proper support that we need in other avenues of our life. For me, it's a medium of writing, right? I need to write. I need to write jokes. I need to have them structured, and I don't feel comfortable on stage, even though I have an improv background. I as a stand up performer have this need to sort of feel prepared and grounded. Even if I'm working new stuff, I want to have grounded in what I'm doing, so that no matter what audience I'm with, they can kind of feel like they're in good hands, even if I'm struggling through something that's new.
That's
He
definitely like
cares. That's
it's
good.
a good method though, because you're when I was going through your set that you shared with us, I was like expecting it to just be storytelling, right? And then you would like insert some like joke or double entendre or phrase or like just something that's fun and keeping it alive, and that is like the giveaway of yeah, that's writing, right? Like that's
Mm-hmm.
intentional, and like your writing gets better and it improves. It's like a presentation, right? It's not always going to be good the first time, but like it gets better. And I think you rock, man. So like thanks for sharing all of that with
Oh
us.
my
That's
God,
very
dude.
kind of you to say. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you noticing that within the work. And yeah, all writing is rewriting, right? It's all the process, and you learn that in sketch, learn that writing in television, that it's you're constantly noodling with the thing to have it land in the right
Mhm.
place, and it's
Mhm.
a combination of phrasing and timing and intention, all
Yeah.
these things, and that's the thing that excites me about being able to write and then perform.
Yeah. It comes across well.
I say, oh my God, because okay, like I've been talking about this for weeks, like behind the scenes, and it there's times at open mics, and maybe you've seen this too. Like, look, we are working on stuff. I am totally going to suspend disbelief. Like, I'm okay. I'm along for the ride.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There are some times, dude, and I'm like, you took the time to write this joke down, and you decided to perform this in front of us, and I'm like, this isn't it, man. Like, I, I will appreciate effort, but this is what I'm talking about too, which is like, you write. There's double entendres. There's like, dude, there's a
Mhm.
play on words, and there's writing, and then there's just like, I'm going to do this joke. There's no punchline, and I'm going to do this and think it's funny, and there's something about that, and I don't know. Maybe this is just like specific to this night I went to. Maybe this is a trending thing at open mic. Like, it's fucking bad. And I'm like, dude, like you have to like put a little effort. Like you really do. Like go sit in a coffee shop and really write it down and tell yourself like, was this really funny? Because not everything's gonna be funny, but like you thought this was funny.
Yeah, it's interesting too, but people are always at a different level of development too. And
Yeah.
like some people may not have learned that lesson yet, or not learned it well. And the other thing too is I think you mentioned this is it does seem to be a trend where it's vibes uh over content, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, there is no punchline, there is no there. There's barely even a premise or a setup. There's just sort of a situation and then maybe an attitude, or some crowd work. And yeah, that doesn't make a very satisfying set.
Yeah. I don't mean to sound like complete jaded asshole, but like this has been on my front, like back of my mind, and I now I get to talk about you.
It's also when you
It
get
validates.
exposed to it over
Yeah.
and over and over
Yeah.
again. It's like, you go a couple times, you're like, oh, this is kind of lame. But every time you roll into an open mic and it's just like sitting in on somebody's unstructured therapy session, that gets to be hard.
It's tough.
Mark
Yeah.
was hurt recently, I think, at an open house,
Yeah.
open mic.
Yeah,
One of
who,
these ones
who
kind of
hurt you?
scarred you
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
Open mic PTSD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Open mic PTSD, dude. Like I don't know. Like but it's good reps. I think like it lets me know what's out there. Like I can kind of see like I see there's trends. I feel like there's just trends in comedy. Like like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the big trend was crowd work. That's where Matt
Mm-hmm.
Rife was coming up, and like here's this whole thing, and now he has specials about crowd work, and like that was the thing. Now it's like I feel like everyone's just trauma dumping. Like everyone's just getting into it, and it's like it's just trauma dumping. But
Dude,
that's
I
go ahead.
think you're traumatized right now.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Maybe
that
you should
No, I'm
we
try
trauma
it.
dumping.
Try
I
it.
have an
Yeah.
idea. I have an idea. I think that we should have Jordan hypnotherapy you so that we
Oh
can
yeah.
figure out what unresolved trauma you have going
It's
on.
it's funny you mentioned that because that was going through my head.
See?
I was thinking, I'm
Can we?
like we could run this guy through a quick release protocol and have him feeling better in no time.
I need to.
Maybe
I
that's
need to
it.
know more about you in this hypnotherapy. Can you
Yeah.
tell us what is this experience like? What is your role in hypnotherapy? I know no real definition or detail regarding this
Yeah.
subject matter.
Yeah, well, so that's an interesting place to start. So, you know, nothing, you have some inkling, you have some impression. What, when someone says hypnotherapy to you, what comes to mind?
I think we're trying to resolve some
Hypnosis.
kind of trauma. So you go under hypnosis and they walk you through, and then you probably cry with like the fetus version of yourself and come back and like become a better person.
That's actually, that sounds really great. I'm gonna have to do that version. That is good. So yeah, sometimes that is sort of a process you'll do. You'll go into the subconscious and walk people through their past timelines or into a different version of themselves to
Yeah.
resolve trauma. Um, my thing is I love helping people sleep better. So better sleep guy, and so
Focus.
We're big
that's
on
sort
sleep
of
on this
We
podcast,
are.
by the
yeah. Oh,
way. We
it's
I get
are.
amazing.
ass sleep. We gotta talk. Keep
And
going.
I
Yeah.
used to be just a total insomniac, just like for years. It was my identity. It was like I owned that
Wow.
and turned that around, and really value all of the properties and qualities of sleep. And so tends to be what I specialize in. And helping people and using hypnosis, hypnotherapy as a tool, as a component within that structure. Um, that said, I see clients and have seen clients for all sorts of stuff. I love working with athletes and performers to help them, tap into sort of their highest potential. I've dealt a lot with people who are stressed or anxious to help them loosen the screws on that experience. But mainly, it's a collaborative and guided process, and that's the thing I like to
Mm-hmm.
demystify. It's not me as a hypnotist doing something to you or taking control of you in any way. It's allowing whoever I'm working with to tap into resources that will allow them to shift away from problems and towards solutions, and to unleash and unlock a better, more present version of themselves.
I think I'm with it. So people come basically with their own kind of like issue thing that they need to address.
Yeah,
And hypnotherapy plus sleep is more of like your expertise. But
yeah.
God,
Yeah, with
okay, okay, I'm
hypnosis,
with it.
just like the idea is like, look, we all have a conscious brain, right? The part of your computer that's on your desktop, right? With the all the tabs that are open and everything that you're aware of. But the thing with the conscious mind, the thing with the desktop is you can only have so many programs running at once, and in the meantime, there's all sorts of stuff going on in the background, running the operating system, keeping everything going, all the stuff that's underneath your desktop, right? Your subconscious mind. And that's where
Yeah.
patterns and habits get ingrained, stuff from where trauma gets stuck, right? So
Yeah.
stuff from very, very long time ago, stuff from very recently. Um, if we go through our lives and we experience stress and trauma, these things will tend to pile up on us and we'll tend to push them down. And that pressure will start to build and build and build. And so what I'll do with clients is walk them through a process where we can loosen the valve on that pressure and release some of the trauma, the stress, the anxiety that's built up over time in the body, in the nervous system. And then we can also do some work in the subconscious to rewire and create new patterns and habits to move you to another version of yourself moving forward. It's fascinating stuff. It's super interesting and fun.
I have a
Super cool.
question. So
Yeah,
you said it's a collaborative thing, you're working together. You're not
yeah,
controlling them when they're in hypnosis.
yeah.
But could you control them in hypnosis if you wanted to? Like how
Yeah,
cuz
yeah.
my
No, I get
only
that. Yeah.
understanding is like, on TV they're like do this, okay, go over there and shit your pants or like
Right,
whatever it
right.
is, right? Like some crazy
Yeah.
thing or so
Is it
like
always a
what's
pendulum? What
like
does it
what's
look
that?
like?
Yeah, like
So
how
no, it's an interesting distinction. No, that's important. And most people, when they come to hypnosis, they have that idea in their mind, right? You're gonna quack like a dog or bark like a duck or whatever it
yeah.
is. And stage hypnosis, right, is sort of an offshoot of the field. So they use hypnotherapy and stage hypnosis will use similar techniques to achieve somewhat similar results, but it's a very different situation, a very different uh, 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 place to be in, right? A hypnosis show is a show. And so they're being very selective, perhaps, about who they bring on stage, and are going out of their way to do things that are very showy and dramatic. Hypnotherapy is more of a tool where we're using these techniques and these tools that might pull some of the same levers, but we're using them in a much more focused and intentional and maybe even clinical way. As far as
using your powers for good.
Yeah, exactly. Like. But the idea of control, right? When I say it's a collaborative effort, there's a saying that all hypnosis essentially is self-hypnosis, right? I'm guiding a client through a process. Everything they do, everything they experience is coming from them. And they go into it. It's a state that they experience that I can help guide you into and help you unlock, and I can help shape based on what your goals and intentions are. But if, deep down, it's something you don't want, you can resist. You can not go along for it. It's a collaborative thing. When you see a show, people are there because they want to be in a show. And the more open and receptive and compliant you are, the easier it is to access these resource states. If you're actively fighting against hypnosis, it's going to be a lot harder because you're resistant, and it's it's a question of you taking yourself through a process and wanting to be open to that process, even though part of your mind might still be resistant. That's fine. That we can deal with, that we can shape and negotiate. But the idea of like, hey, you're not going to hypnotize me, well, then I'm probably not.
So interesting.
How does this come into play with
that's also a question of consent too, like I don't want to ever be like, all right, I'm going to hypnotize you whether you like it or not, like that's
hypnotized. Yeah. Okay.
How does it come into play for sleeping better?
Yeah, so there's a couple of components when it comes to sleep and the way I like to approach sleep. So I think there's a very robust conscious component based on your behaviors and your habits and the things that you can consciously control about how you sleep. And for me, that's most people have never been taught how to sleep, right? It's natural, it comes naturally to us, but if anyone can run. But if you go see a track coach, you're going to have form. You're going to be a lot faster. Anyone can pick up a golf club and try and hit a golf ball. But if you have a lesson or two about how to actually do it, your mind is going to feel and body is going to feel more confident, more prepared, and know you have a technique and a path to get to where you want to go, as opposed to just wishing for the best. So it's like driving or dancing or any other skill, right? So there are conscious steps you can learn to be better at sleeping. Right.
What are some of those techniques?
Get good at sleeping.
Yeah.
And
then we need to know your pillow recommendation.
There's hacks and tricks, but I teach people a system, right? That's based a little bit on what's called the military technique, which is a system that was developed in World War II for like guys and bombers, right? Who it was tough to get sleep in these circumstances. And I learned it from a guy who was on a nuclear sub. And they would have to take naps like near the missiles and stuff. So it was like crazy stressful situations to try and sleep in. But there's a technique you can use to calm your body, clear your mind, and invite sleep in. And that's generally what it takes. All of us know how to sleep. All of us are deep down great sleepers and have a need and a requirement for this. So often it comes to just learning a few steps that you can repeat, and in a couple of nights you learn this technique, it becomes automatic, and you become a much better sleeper, much better at getting sleep. A few nights maybe. Yeah, it's just a matter of practice, a matter of technique, and then changing your beliefs. So that's where the hypnosis comes in. So I'll teach people this technique, and we'll discuss things you can do to make it easier to go to bed, to create better habits, particularly in the morning too. What you do in the morning will impact your ability to go to sleep at night.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you get up in the morning and get outside, get some sunlight on your eyes, you're going to start to activate the circadian clock within you, so that 12 to 14 hours later, you're naturally going to activate that melatonin production. A
Yeah.
lot of people, that, and you just start
Yeah.
to get into the natural cycle of sleeping that way. The way you are biologically hardwired to respond to sunlight and a
Yeah.
24-hour clock.
Okay.
I heard this from a sleep specialist somewhere
Yeah,
on TikTok, don't kill me, but
no.
the guy was saying like somebody asked him, is it more important to like go to sleep at the same time every day or wake up at the same time every day? And he said wake up for all of those reasons, which is so interesting. Sorry, Victor, I cut you off.
No, it's okay. I was going to ask you a question. Scale of 1 to 10. I get up
Yeah.
every day. My alarm goes off at like 7. I begrudgingly, kind of open my eyes and scroll Reddit for like 45 minutes to an hour. And then I get in the shower and go to work. So, like,
Yeah.
how bad is that setup, would you say?
So I don't like to flag anything as good or bad necessarily here to
Thank you.
here to
Thank you.
judge anyone,
Yeah.
and certainly we've all
I
had
am.
times where we followed that routine, haven't we?
Yeah.
But that said, that's kind of suboptimal in
Okay.
terms of setting the pace for your day,
Mm.
and setting your tone and energy and
Suboptimal.
intention. Yeah.
That's
Very
generous.
diplomatic
That's
way of
way to
generous.
say
saying
it.
that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like that a lot.
there we
Yeah.
go.
Love the way
Got
you
you.
talk.
I got you. No,
I'll take
look,
that feedback. I
look,
appreciate that.
I understand. Um, a great thing to do. First thing in the morning, get up, whatever you go pee, go brush your teeth. I immediately come back to bed, sit up, and will meditate for 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
To set the timer, it's just a few minutes. I actually have a micro meditation app I developed
Yeah.
that you can
Oh,
meditate for 90 seconds. You can start with that if you want, but just doing a few minutes to get yourself sort of stabilized and grounded at the beginning of the day can sort of echo throughout the day. And you miss a few minutes
yeah.
of Reddit might pull you in a
I'm
slightly different direction.
I am so shitty. I thought you were gonna say, yeah. So I get up, I go, and then I go back and lay down in bed, and then I look at my phone and go on Reddit, and I was like waiting, like, yes, it's coming. And then you said meditate, and I went, that's
Sorry.
different. No,
Yeah.
no, that's cool though. I get that. I'm
Yeah.
open minded. I just was like, I had this glimmer of hope that it was like you could still be shitty and get and feel good.
Look,
I'm
man,
working
there's
on
there's
sleep.
there's
That's a
there's
goal.
room for everything, and again, I'm not here to judge it, but I think we know
Yeah.
deep down like how that feels, right? When you wake up
Yeah.
and you immediately jump into the void, we know how that feels, and in a way it feels good because it's activating that scroll, but in a way,
Yeah.
we know how it affects the rest of the day,
Yeah.
and it's hard to resist, even though it's still going to be there. It's
Yeah, I
still going to
probably
be there,
don't
not
need
going to
it.
miss anything.
Yeah.
It's true. I am so
Can't stop him
o-
from
on
getting
the show.
meditated.
Hypothetically, we've talked about me falling asleep during movies, allegedly. Does that make me a professional sleeper if I'm knocking out at random places, like in loud places, like a movie theater?
Well, so here's the thing. Reclining seats have changed the
So
changed the
good.
landscape for
Love
falling
it.
asleep in the movie theater, right?
You better not
Like
fall asleep in the movie
they're
theater.
they're like sucking you in. No, but my son fell asleep and I don't
Oh
recline.
my
I don't recline. I'm
gosh.
gonna stay awake.
Hmm.
So yeah, look, part of being a professional sleeper though is picking your spots, man.
Yeah,
Is picking
this
your
is true.
spots.
This
Yeah,
is true.
is I'm gonna sleep here and now, as opposed to being overcome when the moment strikes. But it happens to the best of us.
We have a question for you, Jordan, in the chat. What kind of education did you go through to learn how to do this or training? Like, what does it take to become a sleep expert specialist?
Yeah,
The
so
sleep guy.
the field of hypnosis is wildly unregulated. So it doesn't take a ton. Look, there are some governing bodies and there are lots of ways to learn it. I learned during the pandemic. I was sort of shifting career paths at the time. So I started learning in person and we wound up going remote for my first certification, which sort of got me grounded. And that was a training that I found here in LA. There's lots of trainings. There's lots of really good trainers online, both virtual and in person. And I've gone through a number of trainings and certifications with people who I respect, people who are very well known in the industry, or people who I've worked with personally. So there's a number of paths to find towards
Hmm.
certification. And then in terms of sleep, that was an area of interest. and an area that was personal to me. So, I made it a point to educate myself and to also get experience working in that area with other people. So it's just a matter of working in that space and being passionate about it and open to further education.
Super cool. And where does yoga come into play?
Yeah, yoga. So um, I've practiced yoga for a really long time and started teaching a few years ago. Um, it's one of those things that I need to move my body the same way I need to sort of get stuff out of my head in comedy. I need to move my body in order to manage my emotions, manage my thoughts, manage my mental state, plus keep myself healthy. And yoga's been the thing that's always clicked. I was a runner for a really long time. I've spent lots of times in gyms and whatnot. But when we moved to the valley, I ran when we were in Silver Lake when we had hills.
You don't need
Moved
to
the
run in
valley,
the valley.
Yeah, it got
Nobody
flat.
needs to
Exactly.
do that.
Exactly. It's
No
that's insane.
Yeah.
So instead I do hot yoga.
Good.
So
great.
yeah,
Great
yeah.
choice.
When it's 100 and when
Yeah.
it's 104 degrees in the valley, I go into a room that's 108 with humidity and
Yeah,
teach
if
a
you're gonna
class.
do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something that I really connect to, something that's really important to me, something that has both a physical and mental and spiritual component to it, that I also find that I need to honor and to address in my own life. And yoga's the method that is most accessible for me and makes the most sense for me to be able to
You could do it anywhere, right?
to tap into my body, to tap into my breath, to feel a sense of strength and stability, and then to also have a spiritual component and spiritual sort of guidepost for how to think about life and living life is really helpful as well.
And to be certified in yoga, you have to go on this retreat, right? Like to become certified. Is that
No, not
correct?
necessarily. For that, you have to take a certain level hours of training.
Yeah.
That's been approved by whatever governing body, and you then need to successfully complete those hours of training. Ideally, one would go to a retreat or go deeper, or continue to study. But in terms of getting the certification, there are lots of schools in LA and throughout California, throughout the states that will train you.
Is there a cold yoga?
Yeah, there is. I mean, there's
It's like normal
so
yoga.
there's like room temperature yoga, which
Yeah.
I don't even feel, man. No, it's great. It's great, but I would like to try it in like a cold room, like when you go to the Korean spa and they have the ice sauna. It'd be cool to see what yoga would be like, and they're sort of the opposite of what you're looking for, though, because you're trying to like
Like,
open and
won't you get
expand and like
hurt?
get into
Yeah.
your
Seems terrible.
We want to
yeah.
freeze our muscles as we.
It's like
go
you're just like
deep.
shivering and trying
Yeah,
to stretch
but
the
I
whole
mean, like,
time.
but
it'd
the
be so
cold,
hard.
like in a cold plunge and being in a cold room can also have like beneficial effects. I don't know how it would work when you're like
Yeah.
trying to move around.
Yeah.
It doesn't like necessarily appeal to me, but
You should try it, Mark.
I should try it, and
Yeah.
I'll call it froyo.
Froyo, there you go.
Froyo.
Yeah, beat me.
dude.
Beat me by half a
Pro
second.
yoga, that's good.
Man, you guys are symbiotic.
Yeah, froyo. I'm gonna just we can put that in the podcast Hall of Fame right there is froyo.
The froyo.
To going back to comedy, we wanted to ask you some questions about it, which was, and Evelyn, you put in notes about Doritos. Can you ask the question? Because I have thoughts.
Yes, absolutely. So part of your set, you made a pretty bold claim, I will say, that Doritos are actually the worst thing to throw up. And I have a direct volley for that. Do you want me to go first, Mark? Because you
Yes.
said you have thoughts. I have a direct volley for that, which is from my own experience, and that is vomiting hot Cheetos. I
Okay. Pretty
argue
bad.
hot Cheetos are significantly worse than Cool Ranch because of the added burning effect
Hot.
and the red color, because it looks like you might be dying.
Yeah,
'Cause
so
It does
you
look
can
like you're
red.
dying. That's true.
Have you also?
Yes.
I like that, and I respect and honor that submission. I will say that the Cheetos lack a little of the sharpness that a Doritos has.
That's
Doritos
true.
has a little of that fiberglass, and by worst,
Yes.
so you're taking in some components that make it overall the color definitely a factor. The heat, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's while I am a puker. I haven't.
So we
I'm
all
not.
are
I'm
on this
not. I'm
pod.
not a hot
You're in good
Cheetos
hands.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I firmly believe there are two groups of people in this world. There are pukers and there
Yeah.
are non-pukers,
Yeah.
right? And of
We're
course, everyone
pukers
throws
in the
up, but
room.
there are
Yeah.
people who it's a way of life, and there are other people who would rather die than throw up. And
That's
yeah,
me.
right? Yeah,
I hate it.
Yeah, my wife's the same way. Like she would rather you stab her in the neck than have to throw up.
It fucks up my whole day. I call out sick from work if I throw up in the morning, dude. I'm done.
Well,
dude.
I
I'm
mean,
not
you
going.
should, but like,
Well,
what?
you know.
That's
Yeah.
wow.
You're
I'm a
absolutely
super
right.
casual puker. I could just step out of frame and step right back
Oh my
into
God,
it.
no
Yeah,
way.
I could probably do that too.
Oh
the
my
sharp
God.
the sharpness of the Doritos is exactly what I was going to talk about because like it becomes like very fine and like it
I
it
could
goes
picture
down
that. Yeah.
it goes down relatively well.
Mhm.
Coming back up, dude, it's fighting. It's
Interesting.
going through your
It's a
throat.
betrayal.
It's not supposed to
it's
do
a
that.
huge,
Yeah.
it's a huge betrayal. You're like, I Doritos, I believe in you. I thought you had my back.
Yeah.
So that's the other
Yeah.
component of it too. It's not, for me, it's the sharpness. And then it's that feeling of betrayal. It's very fiberglass like. I do appreciate the hot Cheeto
It's true.
submission though, but I
Thank you.
stand
Thank you.
by Doritos. Stand by.
I have a vivid memory of that, so that's why it really struck a chord with me, which was I was a kid, and my dad and my dad's friend we were going to a shooting range, and it was outdoors, and I didn't have any breakfast, so they just gave me Doritos, Cool Ranch, by the way.
Mm.
That's
And
exactly the one he said. Cool Ranch.
I know I was
Yep.
eating in the back seat of the car, and this is my dad's friend's car, by the way, not my dad's car. And all of a sudden, I was like, "Damn, I don't feel good," and I just fucking yacked in the back seat, dude. Not the last time I do it, even as an adult, but like, I just threw up in the back seat, and I was like, "Dude, I feel so stupid," and it hurt. And like to this
Yeah.
day, I will always remember that, and like the whole mosaic moment of like, "Oh, this looks like stained glass." It's 100% that. So you really struck a chord with me on that one. So I agree with that.
That is a core memory that we really resonated there. Wow, going super deep.
I think
Love
to
that.
this day, your dad's friend still gets traumatized from Cool Ranch Doritos too, because he's like,
Oh.
that
Yeah.
fucking kid puked up Cool Ranch in my back of my car, dude. Never again.
Yeah.
Kayford is also on the hot Cheeto train, and producer man thinks hot Cheetos are easier to overeat, hence the throwing up,
Yeah.
which makes sense. Makes sense. I think I had a stomach bug when I did it. That was just incidental. Why I was eating hot Cheetos with a stomach bug.
Easier to overeat is definitely telling on yourself though.
Yeah, for sure. We know where we lie.
I used to eat a lot of hot fries and orange juice. I used to have a lot of orange juice available in my house, like in high school. My parents would always have orange juice. And so I would eat like hot fries, hot Cheetos with orange juice. And it's like a terrible heartburn. That's like
That's
thing that a
wildly acidic.
17-year-old eats, right? Like imagine me now, I'm like, oh my God, like that would be so bad.
I
but
was
throwing
hot
that up was
Cheetos and
terrible.
Oreos.
Dude, can we talk
my
about that
God.
for real? Like, if as a poll in this room right now, in this call, do you have orange juice in your fridge at this
I
moment?
wish.
No.
I don't right now,
Jordan?
but I want it.
We do not. We live with my sister-in-law, and she makes fresh orange juice. So there's like a pitcher of fresh orange juice.
That
see,
is the
but
best,
Dude.
dude.
that's the best. But I feel like orange juice has really bad PR in the last 10 years because no one talks about drinking orange juice. I don't even think about orange juice until you mentioned
Dude.
that you used to have orange juice. Orange juice ran big in the 90s.
Okay.
From Sunny D to Minute Maid to all
Yeah.
those.
Sunny D's
Yeah.
not right, dude.
It's so good, though. It's so
Sun-
right.
Talk
Wait,
about disrupting your sleep. Have some Sunny D.
It was
Purple
orange
stuff.
juice.
So good.
You couldn't get away from orange. But now,
Remember those frozen ones
of us
that you would unfreeze and make a pitcher too?
Yeah.
Remember
The
that?
concentrate,
That's
yeah.
a 90s.
Yeah,
That's
Minute
a 90s
Maid,
thing too.
Minute Maid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
see, what is up with orange juice, guys? Where are they at?
Worldwide Handsome.
The
loves it.
anti-sugar wave took it out. People are like, "Oh, there's so much sugar in your orange juice. If you drink it, you're
Fuck
gonna
that.
fall asleep an hour
It's
after
so
having
good.
it." The vitamins,
Yeah,
man.
I
Get
just
that
don't
vitamin.
drink it, man. Like it
I
stays
think
in
it's
my
you just
fridge.
gotta have a smaller glass.
Here's what you guys got to do, okay?
Yeah.
If you can do fresh squeeze is it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No, we don't all have that, okay? But what you have to do now, I'm bougie now. So, I like oat milk and I like certain things. I'm a little picky. I get cold pressed orange juice It's
Ooh.
more expensive. You get a jug that's like this big. It's like a I don't know,
such a
half
diva.
gallon for like, I don't know, $8-9, and it's so much better. It's better than whatever the normal orange juice. They always have all the other orange juice, Donald Duck, Simply Orange, Minute, whatever shit. Okay, and then they have one on the side that's in a different looking jug. And
The,
it's
like,
cold
glass one.
pressed.
But yeah, the glass
It's not
glass
always.
one?
Sometimes glass, sometimes not. When I get at the store, it's not glass, but it's like that shit is like the elixir of life. It's almost like fresh squeeze. It's as close as you can get without a machine.
You feel every cell of your body like start to come alive, like it gets that vitamin hit, and like you're instantly like revived from the inside out.
It feels so good. Like it is like it wakes me up. Like orange juice is incredible. That and milk. Favorite things to drink, dude. Best
Yeah,
drinks.
I'm with
Yep.
you on the milk. I'll swap
People
the
hate
orange
that.
juice for cranberry juice though. An ocean spray cranberry juice, dude, can't stop me.
The tart's nice.
Yeah,
Very tart.
so nice, and it's kind of good for you in some ways.
There was a point in my life for like about maybe it was when I was at Starbucks in 2009. I was big on apple juice for some reason. Apple juice was like
Apple juice is
pretty
for kids, dude.
It is, I know. That's why I got all embarrassed. I was like, I
Can't
gotta
drink
stop
it
drinking
anymore.
this. I
Yeah.
had to,
I always drink it with my kids' Chipotle meal because they give you an option if you want a little milk or a little apple
You would.
juice.
What the
And
hell are you
I
doing?
feel
with
like-
As an
milk? That's
adult,
crazy.
you can kind of go with the Martinellis and get away with it.
Yeah.
It's a little on the like
oh yeah.
a little more grown up than
fancy,
just getting
sure.
like
True.
treetop
Sparkling.
It's
Yeah.
it's a small glass bottle, the
The
Martinelli's,
little,
right?
the little,
Yeah.
grenade. It's so good.
or the sparkling, right? Like the sparkling is
Oh,
also
my
very
God.
nice.
People
so
will think
true.
people will think you're drinking like a Coors Banquet, so it's like, all right, this guy's pretty chill, but it's
Yeah.
Martinelli's. Really quickly because we're 40 minutes in this show. Where were you when you found out Dolly Parton passed away? Because this is breaking news that happened not so breaking yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was finding a bit of a cold, and so I wasn't like in the feed. I was kind of out of it all day and half asleep, and my wife told me, and it felt like a
Wow.
bit like a fever dream, and so it took a minute for it to set in, and then yeah, so it felt a little strange. How are you guys doing?
It's a sad day for sure. And we've talked about the rule of three a bunch on this podcast, but every time something like this happens, we're looking for that. Who's going to be the third person? Last week, sadly, it was Hayden Panettiere. And then we had Dolly. And then we came in this morning with our sad number 3, which I think my friends must all be horrible, you guys, including these two bromies here, because I did not get the intel of either Dolly or Tim Curry in my text threads or in Discord. I had to go find out from the normal internet. How come nobody messaged me these things?
Wait, I thought I told you about Dolly. Did I not? Did I miss that?
I had seen it somewhere else before you, and I was like, that's not
told me and
right,
Liz.
man.
You told me and Liz, dude.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you did.
Damn.
I did.
Damn, so he just left me out. See?
Yeah, you
So-
sound very lost right now. You
I
sound
do.
very
Yeah,
lost.
sorry.
But like, okay, there's this weird phenomenon when something like this happens. I don't know why it happens, but it always goes off in a group chat. Everyone has to, like, the group chat is always the one that blows up first, and it's like
Yeah.
we're all racing to get that news in. Oh, hey,
Look at the
Yeah.
baby.
Dwight
So
wanted to say
cute.
hello.
it's a cat friendly show. Sometimes Victor's pussy shows up, and we
I
look
also
at
have
it.
cats.
Every time.
Plural. Mark,
Anyway.
yeah, he can't resist. Okay, go ahead.
But like, there's this whole thing of like, of just having to announce it. Are you that person to announce it? Because I did that yesterday with Victor and Liz. But like, are you the one that just shouts it out or like group text everybody like, hey, this person's dead?
You're the announcer, Mark, for sure.
You just take
I
it.
I
Do it
was
twice,
waiting
though.
for you.
I have a friend who that's all he posts on Facebook. Is that
It's just
when
people dying.
someone dies, he posts a picture,
That's his thing.
right? So like if you're on Facebook, for whatever reason, and you see him post and you see a celebrity, he's the harbinger of death. Like like that's
Yeah.
how I know someone.
Dang.
What an
At least he's
odd thing to
consistent.
do.
Yeah, and he's like done it like consistently and never misses. Yeah, for a long time.
That's an interesting shtick right there.
Yeah, it's
I don't
reliable.
like I don't trust people who still post on Facebook. I understand people having it
Weird.
to chat with people, like, long last family and friends and like all these different things. But when people are actively on their timeline on Facebook, there's something about it I just don't trust, and I don't know what that
Yeah.
is.
I'm convinced there's only like 10 of them left that are actually on that timeline.
You'd be
Like I
surprised,
I don't
dude.
know. I
Go
haven't
sign
looked.
in. There's like people.
Oh, I'm
You're
afraid.
like, what? You're posting on here?
Yeah.
No, it's like a weird feeling. I feel like
Mm.
I've lost them or
Dude,
something.
I
You
felt
know?
I'm pretty sure that you'll get the notification on your phone of like Facebook memories. I'm pretty sure I'm hitting 20 years of Facebook memories or something to that effect. Like something high,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it makes me
Yeah,
feel
same.
sick to my stomach
Yeah.
every time I see it. Like,
Oh my
hey,
gosh, that's true.
what were you doing 18 years ago?
Yeah,
And then
I'm
you
getting
see it.
Facebook memories about a comment you made about the NBA playoffs in 2009. Like, whoa, that was important.
2009. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
It's that notification. I'm like, dude, like I want off this planet when I see that because I'm like, I shouldn't. Like there's something where your mind is supposed to repress these things. I know we talked about hypnotherapy, bringing up these traumas and trying to release it. But like there is some self defense of like I shouldn't remember like of like me ranting about the gas station in 2009 of
It
like
needs to be
how
gone. It
Yeah.
needs to
I
be
delete
ephemeral. We
them.
need stuff that needs to go away and yeah,
Yeah.
and have never happened.
It's
uh,
embarrassing now.
and
Like, why
going to
would you
Facebook,
say that like that?
Facebook feels a lot like you're in like in I don't know, one of these malls where it's like every third store is open and that's
Yeah.
it,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and there's still
Mm.
tons of
Yeah. It's a great
advertising.
description.
Like it's full of advertising and but it's like only Orange Julius and like
Mm.
half a mile
Orange
down like American
Julius.
Eagle. It's
Yeah.
like
Hell
weird.
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Back to orange juice, Orange Julius
Dude,
in the
Orange
'90s.
Julius.
Oh yeah.
Look at the stranglehold Orange had on the '90s. There was a whole fucking store
So
dedicated to it.
crazy, dude.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Did you guys like
Such a
those?
good
It was
time.
like a creamy orange. It's kind
Oh
of weird.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I can taste it now though. It's so like distinct.
Yeah, it's like in the Dole Whip family of like
Yeah.
soft serve delicacies, like
Oh,
orange frosty kind of thing. Yeah, I'm into it.
Dude,
I understand. It's a no for me, but I
You
understand.
don't know what Orange Julius is?
No,
She's
I
the
know
youngest.
what it is, but
Oh, okay.
I don't do that. I don't like it.
I don't even know if they still exist. Oh, they do.
they do wear. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, I Google it and it's not like, oh, this is a. I think they pair it up with Dairy Queen now.
There's a
so
Dairy
you
Queen
have to-
in Palm Desert, California, that also has an Orange Julius.
I'm looking it up,
That
Mark,
is
right now, bro.
crazy. But it
So
also
I
makes sense.
may or might not know from actual experience.
Oh, I don't know
Well-
if there's one very close though. Oh, there's one in Burbank.
Oh,
Wow.
Speaking of the
Thank you,
Facebook
Orange Julius
evolved-
field trip.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, we should.
Yeah.
That's right in your guys' neck of the woods.
Oh, there's one. Yeah, that's the closest one. That's it. That's the closest one for all of us. So field trip, next podcast, content day.
Yeah, I was gonna
Orange
say.
Julius.
We
So
have
back-
another question for you, Jordan,
Okay.
actually, in the YouTube chat. Coming from the queen herself, you know who, Victor? I
What?
heard that saying a mantra over and over in your head about something you want can manifest it. Do you believe that?
So yes and no, right? I think mantras can be very, very powerful. Mantras can be very powerful for directing your thoughts, directing your intentions, bringing you back to a certain thought or idea, particularly when things are getting a little squirrely or out of control in your mind. It's a
Yeah.
great way to focus yourself, particularly during meditation or times of stress. In terms of manifestation, there's an actual neuroscience component to it. So you want to talk about to yourself and out loud and write down the things that you want, the things that you are. You want to do it in an active voice. I am, I have. But you also want to connect it to action. What is the one step I can take? What are the steps I have to take? What is, one thing I can do to take this from an idea to reality? But your mind will start to connect the dots between where you are and where you want to be, and will start to find ways to take the steps to close that gap. So yeah, look, focusing on a mantra or a vision or an intention is how everything gets done. It's how people become successful. And if you look at some of the most successful people in some of the most difficult pursuits in the world of, sports and entertainment and business, they all say they take time to visualize what they want, to see that
Visualization.
in their head or to feel it in their bones, to feel it in their body. And a mantra can be a great way to connect what you want or what you're pursuing to what you feel in your body. And the more you feel it, the more you're going to be connected to it.
So it supports the manifestation.
Yeah, look. I don't. There's no magic wand and there's no magic spell. But I think we as individuals have a more capacity to have influence over the flow of our life than perhaps we give ourselves credit for. There are things happening energetically that we can't always understand or account for. And there are processes going on that are beyond our understanding, but we can have some connection to and find a way to go with the flow in that direction.
I'm with it. You heard it here, you guys. That's your official advice on mantras.
I like that. I might try it.
I
I
think you
believe
should.
it. Um, really quick, I wanted to bring this up. Werther's originals, old person candy.
Oh, the oldest. Yeah, that's so old uncle coded.
I love me some butterscotch though. I feel like that right there will always take. I think old man candy.
Oh, those are
But
old, dude.
butterscotch is an old man candy.
Oh,
You are
We
professing
both
to
had to
like old
Google
man
that.
candy. Yeah.
Yeah, we had to
Yeah,
look
those
that
are
up, but I
old
know what
man
this candy
candy.
is, and yeah, they are. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
I love it, and it even has like the little nipple in the middle. So if you put it in your mouth, you can just totally tongue
like,
that. You're like,
kinda,
oh yeah,
yeah.
this is the
Gross.
Werther's original. The old
I
person
like
candy
the
to me,
strawberry one.
that's the old person candy I was gonna say.
I
Yeah, in the
love that
strawberry
one.
wrapper. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Give
tastes
me
like
that one. It
that
was
tastes
so
like
cute.
grandma.
Yeah, and fashionable. I love it.
I like, I do love it. That's a pretty good one. Let's see.
You
I
know what I
have
like
a- I-
about your stand-up, Jordan? Sorry, guys, I'm gonna
Go ahead,
jump
go
in
ahead.
here. You're an only child, dude. So am I.
Yeah.
And that resonated
Represent.
with me. Yeah, hell yeah. There's dozens of us out here. I feel like you and I are fairly well. We're seem pretty well adjusted for only children. People are often surprised to hear that I'm an only child because they're like, "Oh, that's weird." And I'm like, "What are the only children that you know doing that are so crazy that you're surprised to hear that I'm an only child? Like, what are they, fucking egomaniacs? Like,
I think that's just jealousy coming out because
think so.
all the only children I know are totally normal and chill.
super cool, dude. Yeah, we're great.
So,
I don't know about that, you guys.
Well,
I don't know about that.
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I
Do
think
you
we're doing pretty good.
as an only child, do you feel like you have a hard time sharing and compromising?
I not as an only child. I think it comes down to sort of who you are and how you're raised, and sharing is something that has always been sort of a priority, even though it may not come naturally. Um, Compromising, I think, is always a challenge, and that's a skill that you have to try and build over time. But again, it doesn't come naturally to me. But I also don't, lean into conflict the way I know some siblinged people do. So there's that component of it as well. Like I'm kind of used to being neutral or being a little bit of the shot clock and staying above the game.
Yeah, as I asked that question, I could see Victor's eyes moving like Chat GPT processing it. So I don't know. Do you have an issue with sharing, dude?
No, I'm good at sharing, but also like I want to do what I want to do. Like I don't really want to do. If I don't want to do something, I don't want to do it. And I know that sounds stupid, but it's like, yeah, I think that's like that because I think when I was a kid, my parents were like, "Hey, you want to do this thing?" I'm like, "Nah." They're like, "Okay, whatever." There wasn't like a, "Hey, we're all doing this as a family." As much it was like, "Hey, you want to do this thing?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Okay, fine, we'll just chill." So I do feel like I've had a little bit of that ingrained in me, and now as an adult, I know I'm like, "Oh, I need to do this for a girlfriend or for this person. I'm gonna do this thing." But sometimes I'm like, I really just don't want to do that, dude. Like I don't, and I have to force myself, and that might be rooted in only childdom. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that a lot too. That it's like because you're not necessarily beholden to anybody or their desires or their needs. Like you develop a way to be comfortable with saying no or yes to what you actually want.
Yeah, and I think also like I wasn't like chasing anybody around. I was just doing what I felt like as a kid, so I wasn't like dumped into stuff or I don't know. And also like I think as an only child, I don't know how you feel about this. I really like quiet and like I'm very independent, and I need a lot of like solo time. I think as an adult because like if I get it's like my parents' house when it's just the three of us. It's like a library, like whatever. We'll hear the TV or whatever. So it's like I struggle with like being in a noisy ass crazy environment for too long because I'm like I gotta go back to base, dude. Like I need to chill, you know. I
Yeah,
need
I'm
to
very
lay
much the
back.
same way, and that I need time alone. I need time
Yeah,
in my head. I need time without stuff going on. Part of
yeah.
that's only child. Part of that is another aspect of
Being a
neurodiversity or
human.
ADHD that
Oh, could
that
be.
that I have to balance. In terms of what's going on in my brain.
Yeah,
But I think being an only child definitely influences uh, the way you guard and spend your time and the way you allocate energy to other people,
yeah,
and also your
Hmm.
level of tolerance and patience, I think
yeah.
with other people, and maybe even with yourself a little bit.
But you mentioned that
True.
you said that you gained a stepsister
Yeah,
in
so
this.
I have
Oh,
a stepsister. My dad and my stepmom got married when I was about 12 and my sister was 10. But we never lived in the same house, right?
mm,
Like I was mostly with my mom, went to high school and lived there. They wound up moving to
yeah,
Florida and we're there. So
Uh,
I would see them, several times a year, and we'd go on vacations periodically. And I'm, close with that part of the family. And she and I are close, but it's really different than when you grow up in the house with somebody and
Hmm.
yeah.
whatever
Totally.
you have their the same teacher 2 years later,
that
or
yeah,
you're growing up around their friends and that kind of thing.
that works out because like I thought like you guys like Brady Bunch. You're just in the house together and like you're going to be like a unit. So like there was a separation because you lived with mom and that's what's going on.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So there was, yeah, it's yeah, so it was never like we were, getting up and going to school together. Again, we had a lot of time together. We're still, very close, but you can't really compare it to, having someone in the next room or the next bed from the time you're born until you graduate high school, or
Yeah.
even the middle of that time.
Can you walk us through what it was like to work on America's Funniest Videos?
What
Yeah,
did you
Because
that's
do?
cool.
I have thoughts of America's Funniest Videos, but I want to like what was it like working there? And when were you working there?
So I worked there, it was like around 2010, 2017, friends. So like the tens. And
That's
it was a
Tom. That's Tom Bergeron, right?
yeah, Tom
Yeah.
Bergeron
Okay.
into Alfonso. So I
Oh, okay, okay.
helped
You're good,
cast
Mark.
cast Alfonso.
He
Oh,
knows.
Yeah, he knows the lore.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I got to meet Saget once, which was pretty cool too. So
That's
that was
cool.
Oh,
that was important. Yeah, that was
sweet.
pretty amazing. It- it's a great job. It's an amazing job. The people were really cool. It's the kind of job that doesn't really exist in entertainment anymore, where you're doing 22 episodes a year, and they still show reruns on occasion, and it's pretty set schedule, hiatus. So as far as like a professional writing gig, it was a dream come true. It's as good as you could get. Look, from as a comedian, it's not necessarily the edgiest or most relevant material you're going to be working on. And you accept that going in. That's part of the job. You write to the job you have. And I had plenty of time outside of that to make whatever, dick and fart and poop jokes I wanted to make.
nice.
So yeah,
Sweet.
so it was a really great job. I do feel like it probably accelerated my ADHD, and sort of made me like prepared me for TikTok pre-TikTok, because we would just spend hours in a room, basically scrolling through videos that people had sent in, and then building the shows. And there's a certain format to the show, and that had been honed and perfected over time. And we just sort of continued that legacy. So it was nice. Worked with some really great people and have some good memories of.
That's such a phenomenon because like in 2010 that means you're receiving everything digitally, but in the Bob Saget era, that dude like the
You were
whole team
mailing
is
VHS, man.
Wow.
VHSs. Like you'd probably be getting it by the fucking truckload
Yeah.
to like to
the
get like
the library's still there. I've been in the tape
oh
library. Like they
shit.
have
That's
it all.
incredible.
Whoa.
And one of my good friends who helped helped me get in there originally, who was on the staff for a long time. His job for a while was digitizing the library. And so they had to go
Wow.
back to all the tapes and
What a
digitize the old
mission.
stuff and catalog it in a way that made it possible for writers and producers to then search the database and pull up clips. So it's evolved like to such a magnitude over the course of years, from the technology that originally allowed the show to exist to the technology that keeps it going now. It's wild how it's changed and adapted, and how
Mm-hmm.
something that was kind of a phenomenon all those years ago, um, presaged the world we live in. Was a show that foresaw the idea of everybody having a camera in their pocket. It's crazy.
Dude, America's Funniest Video was YouTube before YouTube. It,
100%.
you would like
Yeah.
it.
Reels. It's
It's
like,
what you know. You know what you do?
Yeah.
Everyone wore a suit and dressed really fancy to sit in a room and watch YouTube together. Because America's to this day, if you watch
Classic.
America's Funniest Video, they still are well dressed. It's the only place where you can
Mm-hmm.
see on TV where people are dressed really well as an audience member.
It's nice. It was really cool. We'd have like church groups in there,
That's
and
so
like
funny.
really like it
Yeah,
was like
because it's
such
clean. It's clean comedy. It's super
so
clean.
wholesome. It was like
Yeah.
such a wholesome experience. And yeah, and you're right. When we were on the stage, it was always a great experience. Just having people in the audience. And again, it's somewhat a 20th century art form that's surviving here in the 21st century, and it's the foundation for so much of what we experience now. So I was really happy to be a part of it for the time that I was.
What does a
Such a
writing
cool
room
vibe.
look like for America's Funniest Video?
Yeah, it's really cool. There were when I first started, there were four of us. Then it was the three of us, and now there's just only two guys in there. So it's gotten smaller over time. But we were in a room with like a conference table, and like corkboard, not corkboard, but like pushpin board all along the wall. So every wall had that, and we would have a section for each show. We could only do about 7 or 8 on the wall at a time, and we had little cards. Each card had a video on it that would have like the number and the description of the video, and we would pin those on the wall in the order we wanted them to go, and we would build them in packages,
Fun.
right? So you have like
wow.
a theme and a certain number of videos, and then you would want to have a certain, try to have some new stuff in there and fill it in with some older stuff, but not too old, and stuff that hasn't been on too recently or doesn't look played out. And so you're trying to find like a certain blend of stuff to build this thing. And then you go down to Vin DeBona's office and you show the show to Vin DeBona, and he tells you, great job, or, go and do it again. And you go and do it again.
What is it? Okay, what is a video that it stuck with you that you could not show on air, that it made its way to your viewing?
Mm.
Yeah, like was there a
There were, I
filter?
mean, there's some, yeah. There's a lots of stuff we couldn't show,
Sure.
Oh,
and
sure.
there was a whole, like sort of, like a bunch of lore videos, like sort of famously ones we
Yeah.
can't show. There was one where there's a
This is
few
so
weird and bad
interesting.
ones. Yeah,
Okay.
there's some like really like wild. There was one that was like just a wild, uncontrollable like horse shit video that was like just like crazy weird and like kind of stunning and shot in kind of a weird way. And then there's
That should
another
be the
one that was
show
like,
title. Wait, wild, crazy horseshit video.
yeah, there was a lot of like we couldn't show like the best of like people like fucked up, right? Like you can't show on like 7 o'clock on Sunday on ABC like people like shit faced hammered. And so
Yeah,
like literally had someone like peeing in a bathtub once and then like slipping and falling, which
that would
is
have been so
That's
oh my
funny.
great,
God. I
dude.
mean,
A comedy.
mwah. But like, yeah, that's not, we
Is
can't
there is
Disney
there
that.
is there one video that's in that library where you're like, this is the one that we can never show, but it's like something that it stood the test of time from the Saget days to Alfonso. Like there's just something in there that's like it's deep AFV internal lore that you
Yeah,
can't show.
the one I just said, the bathtub one's kind of
Green?
like
That's the
held
one.
held close to our hearts. And honestly, man, it's been a while since I've thought about it. And if I
Yeah.
gave it some thought, I'm sure I could go through the catalog. Um, but yeah, that's the one that jumps to mind. The that one was really good. There's also, there's people like taking a shit in a Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket and stuff like that. Just like
We really
wild.
pivoted
Sick.
from that wholesome
Yeah.
content so quickly.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's a whole, there's a dark underbelly to
Yeah.
everything, including the most wholesome. So
Speaking
yeah,
of dark
there's
underbellies, I actually
yeah.
have another question for you. In your set, you mentioned a phrase that like just got me. And I was like, how long did it take you to get there? What did it take to construct this idea? And that is soul holes. I was like, yes, I didn't quite understand it at the beginning. And then I was like, no, this goes even further and further every time. Tell us about, for those of us that didn't see it, our chat here, your soul holes segment.
Yeah, I was just talking a little bit about how one of the side effects people are discovering to Ozempic and the other GLP-1s, that people are becoming depressed. They're getting skinny, but sad. And saying as someone who's spent a lifetime dedicated to being deeply depressed, it's a little unfair that you come about it so easily. And that you exchange, one problem for another that's already taken. That one's mine. If you want to be skinny and depressed, sorry, that job's taken.
Get in line.
But we all exactly
Yeah.
look. We all have different holes in our soul, and in a way, that's kind of what defines us. Who we are is what we seek to fill that hole with, and we're all going to have that. And you can't always cleanly exchange one for the other. And you're always going to have something missing within you, and that's just who we are. But sometimes we take a little bit of ownership over that spot that we're missing.
I like soul holes. That's the perfect name for that. That should be our topic, soul holes.
I love that. Well, hey, couple things. I think that's a great place to end. Jordan, before we get to the plugs and where you're going to be at, Pillow Talks coming up. Just a reminder, this Saturday, I have a show over at the Drunk on Boba over in Glendale. Tickets and info is going to be in the link. I'll post it up on the Instagrams and all the good stuff. But Jordan, thank you for hanging out with us, my dude.
Yeah,
We
man.
appreciate your time.
This was so great, you guys. This is awesome. I love the show. I love hanging out with you guys. Happy to do it anytime.
Oh,
Yay.
be careful
Awesome.
saying that because we might ask you again.
Wait,
Jordan,
hang in there for pillow talk so
Yeah.
that we can talk about pillows with the sleep expert.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And Jordan, where can they find you?
So you can find me on TikTok underscore the better sleep guy. I'm on Instagram as the better sleep guy and vitamin Schatz. And you can go to goldenhourhypnosis.com if you want to book a call with me. Also, if you go to orivio.app, ORIVIO.app, you can download my 90-second micro meditation app with personalized binaural beats.
Do it.
Got
Change
it.
your life today.
Oh, man. Well, Evelyn, Victor, who's taking us out?
I'll take us out today. I'll make it easy for us. Thank you guys for joining us live hangout again. We're talking about sleep and pillows with the sleep guy. You gotta say, if he hangs around with us for a little while longer. But we're just living talking LA. Find us 7:30 p.m. PST on Wednesdays, YouTube and Twitch. Go follow us on the socials. Tell your friends about us, and get excited to see Victor kick his feet on our Instagram. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
All right. Another
Nice.
episode done. Jordan, awesome
done, man.
job, my man.
Oh,
great.
thanks, guys. Thank you. You made it easy. This was super fun. Love it.
You're
a
a
good-
natural.
Really love it.
You're
What a
natural.
good guest. And now
Do
you're
you
here.
have-
You're gonna ask me questions about myself. It's really tough gig to settle into.
Are you
But
hanging
thank
out
you
for a
guys.
couple
Yeah,
more
I'm-
minutes, Jordan?
I'm perfectly happy to hang out.
This is
super
urgent.
fun. Yeah, I
this
love
is
it.
essential. Victor and I are on pillow journeys. We are
Yeah.
both shitty sleepers. What is your preferred pillow? Do you buy into these like three-way style pillows,
Is there
or
a brand? Like,
what-
what's
yeah.
the, what do
So
you got?
I'm not a paid endorser. A few years ago, though, my wife and I discovered Nest, NEST bedding,
Uh-huh.
and we get our pillows from them.
yeah?
We love their pillows. Their pillows are great, and
it
it
up.
makes a world of difference to have a pillow that you like. So, I'm not going to say one way or another, this is a good pillow, this is a bad pillow. But typically speaking, if you're looking for someplace to invest a little bit, get a good pillow. Don't get necessarily like a cheap pillow.
Don't go
you
to
have
Home
get-
Goods, for example.
You don't have to go top of the line. Well, if you go to Home Goods, you're going to get one that's, that's also a butter dish
Got
with
a
a
hole
frog
in
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like we love our pillow. You can sort of adjust the level of stuffing on it. It's very, very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
We also our bed is from there. It's a bed we love. Um, uh, and I'm very sensitive to what I sleep on. So it's a great bed. The conditions that you sleep in do make a difference. So you want to
They
have a
do.
bed that you love, a pillow that you love. I believe you can get good sleep in any condition, but the more dialed in your sleep situation is, the easier and more accessible it's going to be, and the less you're going to have to think or worry about. So if you have a bed you like and a pillow you like, that's great. If you can get your room cold and dark and quiet, those are going to be optimal conditions for you to settle into sleep. And those are conditions I like to encourage for people.
This pillow does look a little bit similar actually to the pillow that we've been on, Victor, which, to share that with all of you guys in case you didn't know, also not sponsored, is the Coop pillow.
Okay, yeah.
But it
Very
has
similar.
similar functionality where you can kind of select your
Oh, they
degree
have
of
the
stuffing.
removable fluff too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's nice.
yeah.
It's
That's
nice.
super
Yeah.
nice. I
Yeah,
need to
because it
take
comes
more out, you guys. I need
yeah,
to
it
take
comes
out
pretty
more.
fat. Yeah, and we sort of slimmed it down. You can dial it in real nice. I am curious. I'm a bit of a side sleeper, and I would like to try one of those pillows where you can kind of tuck your arm in a
Yeah, see the
little crevice. That
three-way
would sort of cool.
style
Yeah, yeah.
one. Yeah.
And I, haven't actually explored that yet. It's probably a gap in my knowledge base as a sleep expert, but pretty
Yeah,
dedicated,
you're
pretty
gonna have to
dedicated to
go
my
in.
nest. Yeah.
And they also have an interesting one that has like this V cutout. It's a little deeper than what I'm used to. We don't have to spend that much time on pillows, but I needed your opinion, which is great that we're kind of on the same page because I feel like Victor didn't totally lead me astray here because he did give me that
I give you a
recommendation.
good pillow. It's
So
good.
when
Yeah,
you
he
say
did. He did.
when you say you're an ass sleeper, you have trouble falling asleep, trouble staying asleep. Like, what's
Both.
your okay?
For me, it's both. And
Hmm.
I recently started like putting on the TV to help me like drain it out.
Hmm.
And it's weirdly enough, it helps. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's both for me. I think it is though attached to a lot of like what you do in the day, like you were saying earlier. Like I need to stop eating certain things at a certain hour now. I'm 31 now. My body's really different. And I hate every single moment of it, but I can still take dairy. So you take the wins that you get, right?
Yeah. Scoreboard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, and like I said, there is a subconscious component too. There's a certain, stories and programs and habits we have running that can be, modulated and adjusted to make it a little easier too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so my wife, the Guatemalan, I always call her that on the show. Like she gives me shit because like she doesn't like falling asleep with the TV on, and I
Hmm.
understand it, but it was just for me. But like when I would fall asleep with the TV on, it was always to like the same shows because it would help me fall asleep easy. So she would be like, "Why do you keep watching the same things at night?" And it's like it's because it's helping me turn my
Yeah.
brain off. It's
It's soothing.
there's a
It's
Yep.
literally soothing.
there is a comfort in that because I know how the show goes, I know the beats, I know how it ends, and then I would put a sleep on the TV the timer, and I would just knock out.
At
And
least you did that.
yeah, like I
I'm
wouldn't.
impressed. I
Yeah,
thought
I'm
you weren't doing
shocked
that.
actually.
Yeah.
I
Oh no,
thought
no,
you just
yeah,
wake up in like 3 in the morning and shit.
it should be a
I
fucking
hate that feeling, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's the
needs to be
worst.
like federally regulated. Like here's an example, right? Like falling asleep to The Office. You like The Office; it's a good show, but every time the new episode starts, that theme song is 20 or 40 decibels louder than the
Louder.
actual
Hmm.
audio. So you hear that and you know what it sounds like, just
Hmm.
banging, banging,
Mm-hmm.
banging,
Yeah.
banging. And like it's
Yeah, it's
it's
too much.
but it's 2026 and no one has fucking regulated that. And it drives me nuts. I hate that shit. You need to regulate like the sounds of that because it's just too fucking loud.
It's wildly disruptive. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
agree
like
with
when you're
that.
it's like when you're watching like YouTube videos and like like
The
Evelyn doesn't
ads are
notice anymore.
louder.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I have premium. I don't watch
Evelyn, yeah.
commercials on my YouTube.
On her in her ivory tower right now doesn't even know what we're talking about, guys, but there's this thing called ads on YouTube which I still get, and they're
What?
so fucking loud when you're watching it because I'm trying to watch some, I don't know, bloopers or Claire Obscure breakdown videos, and all of a sudden the ad comes on and it's so loud. I hate it. It drives me nuts.
You know what makes me sad now that you say that, actually? The recurring thought that the new generation doesn't think of commercials as commercials, but they think of commercials as ads. Like their language is no longer a commercial.
Mm.
That makes me
Even on TV?
sad.
That is true. No, but
They don't watch
They don't even
TV.
watch TV. Yeah,
They
Yeah.
don't.
that's
They
true.
stream
Nobody
everything. So
watches
it's all
TV.
It's
ads.
an ad
Evelyn
break.
Evelyn has a point here, which was like we're all old enough in this call to like if you heard certain commercials, you knew exactly what time it was. Like in terms of like
Hmm.
what year it was. Like you know the 90s, like when you hear the what was it, the Enya music, you knew it was 2 a.m. in the late 90s and you could hear that soundtrack CD they gave you or the
Hmm.
Where's the Beef. There's these commercials that are stable. I could not tell you what commercial came out in the last 6 years that timestamps anything. It's
Yeah.
all a wash now.
Not even
Yeah.
the Super Bowl ones.
No.
Like I'm not retaining even those.
And also, one of my best friends is in those Geico ads, right? And those and that's like been a series though. Like, so we have ads. We had some ads that you can tie to a period of time because they only ran for a period of time. But
Yeah.
now we have like these campaigns. Like Flo's been our life for like I don't know, like 20 years now,
And she was
Yeah.
late in the commercial game. But
right?
yeah, now
Yeah,
she's like,
She's like classically trained or something, isn't she? And she's like, she just ended up doing this and she crushed it, but it's like now she's that. It's kind
yeah.
of
yeah,
And she's been in
now
a
she
bunch of
is
bunch of
Flo.
other shows and stuff. But yeah, she's
Oh, has
yeah.
she? That's
Yeah.
good.
Since, yeah, for sure.
What's up?
For sure.
What's up with Geico having like five different mascots? They had the caveman, they had the lizard, and
I
we all
love the
just accepted
cavemans
it.
though.
Well, we all accepted it. We never
Yeah.
Did
said like,
you
"Hey,
say
what's
the
going?"
lizard?
The Geico. Sorry,
Dude.
The
Geico
gecko?
Gecko, dude.
Geico. Okay,
Something for everybody.
I'm getting
I'm not even
married.
going to say you're
everybody
wrong
need-
about
everybody
that.
needs
That was just a
insurance.
mistake.
But it's
Yeah,
just too
he's
many
right.
mascots. But like again, like they're yeah, the commercials were just time stuff. There's that one commercial I can think of where the guy's telling you like you're watching like Ricky Lake or Jenny Jones during the day, and he's like, "Go back to school." You know what I'm talking about? That one black dude. And he's like, "Hey, you gotta. What are you doing right now?"
You're sitting on your life. No, you're sitting on a
Yes.
couch watching TV, and your life's passing you by.
Yes.
You keep procrastinating over and over. Maybe I'll go to school next year. Maybe next semester. I could do the whole thing.
Wow.
But
I
that's what I'm
quote this
saying.
all the time. Yeah, I love that thing.
That was incredible.
That's
Yeah.
incredible, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That should be. You should start your emails with that.
I think I might. I told you guys before
On
that
your
I was.
deathbed, the last thing out of your mouth
Yeah.
is going to be
Yes.
that the last thing you
I'm
retain.
like, I'm just a parrot. Like if something sounds like a little, I'm committing it to memory. And I had this phase where I was really into infomercials, like the slap chop, right? I was obsessed. Anything that went on for like 3 hours between like 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., like I was in. But I did a speech on infomercials once and how much I love infomercials when I was in high school. So
I love that. Oh my
yeah,
God, that's
a fun
amazing.
fact.
Yeah, that also brings back all my insomnia days, right? Like that was like
Yeah.
prime infomercial time in
If
in
you
the
reach
world.
South Park, you were up way too late, man.
Yeah, just keep going. Health rider time. It's way back.
Oh man, see, commercials need to be what. Yeah, but now commercials are inconvenience. We all pay the $6 in our subscription in addition to what you're paying to just skip them, and it's all just like I don't know, like
Dude, all my shit is with ads now. I've actually released. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I used to pay for all the no ads. Now I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. I just mute the TV and go on my phone, or I'll go to the bathroom or something, and I just live among the ads now. But they also don't get to me. Like I mute them, and I like silence them, and then now they're wasting their time. I get a sick satisfaction from it now.
no, but
From
I'm
muting
sad.
ads.
It's all ads for medicines for diseases I don't have.
Yeah,
So I can let it like wash over me and
True.
pass.
They really are. Or the GLP-1. But you know what pisses me
And
off?
I'm already depressed, so I don't need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We just live in this state. So old. Anyway, HBO Max now has ads. And this is what pisses me off is that commercials
Yeah, it's true.
had a cadence, right? Like the show intentionally paused itself and left you with like a hook, right? And then it segued into the other fun content, which was the commercials. But now it's just the worst fucking part in the storyline. And this ad just randomly pops up. And
Yes.
then you have to, I'd rather not have the fucking timer. I'd rather just wait till the 5 seconds and guess. Because watching it count down for
It's
2
actually
out of
grueling.
3 for 180, like I'm losing it.
No, it makes me super anxious, and commercials should never be anywhere near HBO. Like
Yeah.
like
Sure.
that's
No,
like
come
that's a
on. I'm
separate,
paying
like
for it.
it's not TV. Like that's the one thing you're supposed to do is be like separate from that experience. So yeah,
Yeah.
that can be
I'm
that's
hurt.
upsetting. That's
I'm
upsetting.
hurt. It's really been triggering me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't have ads on YouTube. So now that I have them on HBO, it's like hitting me even worse.
Yeah, it's like you're being shoved back in a coach after flying first class.
Thank you for understanding me. I appreciate that.
Hey, how does YouTube work? Like, can you make like, is it like a family account where you can like add another user, or is it just like you? Like, how's that?
Well, I thought I was paying for my own, remember, which was supposed to be something like $15 a month. And then I realized that when I added all of my family, I linked our accounts back in the day when we had YouTube TV. That still lives. So I've been paying 28 and some change a month for all 4 people in my household to have YouTube Premium.
Can you put me and Mark in there too? Like, just add us?
I, I can try. I think I have a limit of 5. So
Ooh.
one of you may
Your
or
boy
may
asked
not.
first, dude. What's up?
Honestly, that seems like a pretty fair deal. And YouTube TV is crazy
We
expensive.
can fight over it.
Yeah. Well, it's no longer YouTube TV. Now it's just
Right, it's
YouTube
just this-
Premium. I no longer I have Spectrum TV now, which they all suck, dude. I miss old TV. At that point, like let's just go back to how it was. I miss when you could just go to like channel 4, channel 8, channel 11, call it a day, but alas,
Yeah.
we are where we are.
My idea for Netflix was there should be a channel on Netflix that's just playing something random, like so you can just kind of hop into
That'd be cool.
and let it because like there is
Like a
something special.
TV
That's true.
tab, a
Yeah.
TV tab. That would be so fun.
Yeah. To no longer have the ability to channel surf the way that we once did, which I guess has been replaced by scrolling now, right? Because it's sort of the same
Yeah.
activity, and satisfies the same the urges and neurochemicals. But yeah, like the idea of just like flipping around, seeing what was on TV, even though you knew nothing was on, and watching whatever the last third of a movie you've seen 8 times with the commercials because it was on. That's what's on, and I don't want to do anything but look at this right now. Yeah, that's
The
a world that
decision-making
just
is
doesn't
too much
exist.
pressure.
Yeah.
It's hard
I'm
to
sick.
choose.
I'm
Yeah.
over it.
I appreciated the
food.
curation, right? The curation that went into having channels that were curated to certain tastes. You knew what you were going to get if you went to a certain channel, and you knew what you were going to get from certain shows. There's an instability in our media diets now that I think contributes to the overall level of anxiety in society.
I agree.
The,
100%.
the anxiety we used to live before was the TV Guide channel.
Yeah,
Because like you would sit there and it was blocked off by an hour and a half,
yeah, you're waiting.
and then you'd have to wait. You're like, damn, dude, I missed channel 11. Now I'm on channel 23, and I gotta watch the whole ticker scroll all the way up to get back to Fox
Yep.
to see what the Simpsons episode is about. And you just sit there, and you'd be punished and pounded by ads and infomercials, and you'd have to fight through the noise and see like, okay, QVC, blah blah blah, and like you would just sit there and wait for the ticker to come back. And if you missed it again, you're fucked.
Inevitably, you would though.
Yeah.
Inevitably, you wait and wait and wait, and the second is about to come, you'd like look over to save something,
Yeah.
and come back. Oh,
I think
that or
one of-
missing the time your show came on. That's an anxiety that's been replaced by
yeah.
an overwhelm of choice. The idea of like
if you
missing a
missed
thing
it,
when
you
it's on.
missed it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
over.
that was the end of that.
But you know
for
what was
sure.
like that should have been a crime too back in the day was like when you would like go back and let's say you'd watch something in TGIF. I'm gonna watch Boy Meets World, and you assume it's a new episode. Sometimes it'd be a rerun. So you'd plan your whole time around I'm gonna see the show, and all of a sudden it was a fucking rerun, and you're like, dude, this is a wash.
Damn.
That happened.
That is sad.
Or a clip show.
God, that's the
Like we don't
worst, dude.
like our kids will never know what a clip show is for real. They might see one in like a museum, but like to actually experience a filler clip show, 18 episodes into a 20 episode run.
Yeah.
That
not gonna
was
happen.
painful.
You
It was hurtful.
fuckers, dude.
It felt
Yeah,
like an
it's always
attack.
surprising.
It was so great. They like the characters on the show are having memories about the show. It's so crazy the way we're like, all right, we're
Oh,
watching
they
this. It's
really-
on. I'm watching it.
Rage Bait 101. Rage Bait 101.
Yeah, dude, I can't enjoy my orange Julius like this. That's crazy, dude. Drinking my orange juice. Well, hey, Jordan, thanks for hanging out with us, my man. We appreciate you for giving up your time and hanging out with us, dude. It was a good time.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. Great to be here. Love to live and talk in LA.
Oh my God.
Yes,
Awesome,
the
dude.
plug, dude.
plug.
He
Seriously,
plugged it.
sick ass guest, dude. That's great.
All right, chat. Well, you know
Thanks,
the
guys.
drill. We'll see you guys next week. Jordan, appreciate you, my man. We're gonna end the call, but like stream. We'll see you guys next week.
See you soon.